Lynchings in America were not isolated hate crimes committed by rogue vigilantes. Lynchings were targeted racial violence perpetrated to uphold an unjust social order. Lynchings were terrorism. This era left thousands dead, significantly marginalized Black people politically, financially, and socially, and inflicted deep trauma on the entire African American community. White people who witnessed, participated in, and socialized their children in a culture that tolerated gruesome lynchings were also psychologically damaged. State officials' tolerance of lynchings created enduring national and institutional wounds that have not yet healed. Lynchings occurred in communities where African Americans today remain marginalized, disproportionately poor, overrepresented in jails and prisons, and underrepresented in decision-making roles in the criminal justice system.
Jim Eastman was lynched in Brunswick, Tennessee in 1887 for not allowing a white man to beat him in a fight.
Warren Paul, 14-year-old boy, was lynched in East Point, Georgia for frightening a white girl.
Robert Morton was lynched in Rockville, Kentucky in 1897 for writing a note to a white woman.
Thomas Miles Sr. was lynched in Shreveport, Louisiana in 1912 for allegedly writing a note to a white woman.
Ernest McGowan was lynched in Waller County, Texas in 1937 for reporting a group of white men who had attacked him.
In 1912, a white mob lynched T.Z. Michelini, 16, in Columbus, Georgia, after he was convicted of accidentally shooting a white boy.
Jack Turner was lynched in Butler, Alabama in 1882 for organizing Black voters in Choctaw County.
Porter Kaysen was lynched in Howard County, Missouri in 1879 after he was accused of inappropriate conduct with a white woman.
Elias Clayton, Isaac McGee, and Elmer Jackson were lynched by a mob of 10,000 people in Duluth, Minnesota in 1920.
Ham Patterson was lynched in Callaway County, Missouri in 1884 for talking disrespectfully about some white people.
Al Parsons was lynched by a white mob of 5,000 people in Memphis, Tennessee in 1917.
David Hunter was lynched in Lawrence County, South Carolina in 1898 for leaving a farm where he worked without permission.
Elizabeth Lawrence was lynched in Birmingham, Alabama in 1933 for reprimanding white children who threw rocks at her.
Calvin Kimblard was lynched by a mob of at least 3,000 people in Pueblo, Colorado in 1900.
After Calvin Lake voted in Calhoun County, Georgia in 1884, a white mob attacked and burned his home, lynching his elderly mother and his two young daughters, Emma and Lily.
Benjamin Little was lynched in Mount Pleasant, Texas in 1885 after being accused of talking about a respectable white family.
Laura Nelson and her teenage son L.W. were lynched without trial in Oklahoma, Oklahoma in 1911 after a white man was found dead.
William Brooks was lynched in Palestine, Arkansas in 1894 for asking to marry his white employer's daughter.
William Wardley was lynched in Irondale, Alabama in 1896 because local white merchants wrongly thought his money was counterfeit.
Fred Alexander, a military veteran, was lynched and burned alive in Leavenworth, Kansas in 1901.
Anthony Crawford was lynched in Abbeville, South Carolina in 1916 for rejecting a white merchant's bid for cottonseed.
William Miller was lynched in Bryan, Alabama in 1908 for organizing local coal miners. After a white male attempted to assault Jack Brownlee's daughter in Oxford, Alabama in 1894, Mr. Brownlee was lynched for having the man arrested.
In 1922, Charles Atkins, 15, was burned alive by a white mob of more than 1,000 people in Washington County, Georgia.
For the hanged and beaten, for the shot, drowned, and burned, for the tortured, tormented, and terrorized, for those abandoned by the rule of law, we will remember, with hope because hopelessness is the enemy of justice, with courage because peace requires bravery, with persistence because justice is a constant struggle, with faith because we shall overcome.
My name is Craig Monahan. I'm a teacher at Swan Valley High School in Saginaw, Michigan. The video you just watched was inspired by the National Memorial for Peace and Justice in Montgomery, Alabama. The students in the video believe that by sharing this with you, that it will bring attention to racial injustice in our society and hopefully advance the idea of equal justice for all.